The mystery of what happened to Madeleine has captivated people around the world in a way few other disappearances have. For years, many have followed every twist and turn of her exhaustive case with frenzied anticipation. Was she taken? Where did she go? From the beginning, her parents have said they believe she was kidnapped and that she's still alive somewhere. Now, following the case's recent return to widespread public attention following a claim from a young Polish girl that she might be Madeleine, let's return to look at the full story. May 3rd, 2007. 3-year-old Madeleine McCann vanished from her hotel room while vacationing with her family in Portugal and hasn't been seen since. Her parents, Jerry and Kate, were dining with friends at a restaurant just 60 yards away. They were completely oblivious to their daughter's disappearance until Kate went to check in on her at 10 p.m. An investigation by Portuguese authorities began, but the McCanns were concerned that the police in the small parish of Praia da Luz did not have sufficient resources to locate Madeleine. May 14, 2007. Portuguese police named Robert Muret, a British man living in Portugal, as an arguido, or official suspect in the case. Muret denied the allegations and maintained his innocence. The suspect's status was subsequently withdrawn and no charges were ever brought. June 2007. Over a month passed without any progress. The Portuguese police chief admitted that forensic clues may have been destroyed as the hotel apartment was not securely protected. In a desperate attempt to find their daughter, the McCanns turned to unconventional methods for help. One of the first people Jerry contacted was Diane Krugel, a retired South African police officer who was known for his exceptional ability to locate missing persons using a device called a matter orientation system. Kruger claimed that his device could locate individuals anywhere in the world by using quantum detection to analyze an object's atomic makeup. Though this may sound far-fetched, Krugel had successfully located missing persons through this innovative system. Could cutting-edge technology help solve this mystery? Using hair from Madeleine's brush, the device was able to narrow Madeleine's location down to a 1-kilometer radius around the hotel, but it was unable to pinpoint her exact whereabouts. Over several days, Krugel's readings showed that Madeleine's signal remained stationary. After providing his findings to the Portuguese authorities and suggesting the use of cadaver dogs, traces of Madeleine's blood were detected in the car the McCanns rented 25 days after Madeleine went missing. September 2007. Portuguese police designated arguido status on Kate and Jerry McCann as suspects in their daughter's disappearance. The Sunday Mirror newspaper quoted Kate saying the police were trying to get her to falsely confess that Madeleine died in an accident and that the couple panicked and disposed of the body. The pair vehemently denied any wrongdoing or involvement in Madeleine's vanishing. It is worth noting that Krugel did not request or receive any payment from the McCanns. October 2007. Despite pursuing various angles, including a group of dubious charity collectors working in that area, the police authorities failed to make any arrests. These collectors were caught going door to door, soliciting donations for an orphanage in a village called Espiche, which did not exist. This led to suspicions that they were scammers attempting to swindle tourists out of their money. One of the charity collectors involved in the scam had a disturbing interest in young girls. While giving a sales pitch to a woman in her kitchen, he kept looking down at her 3 or 4-year-old daughter, rather than focusing on the adult. Despite this concerning incident, Portuguese authorities were unable to locate these criminals due to their limited resources. March 2008. The McCanns accepted $1.1 million in libel damages and front-page apologies from 2 London newspapers, the Daily Express and the Daily Star, over stories alleging they were involved in the disappearance or death of their daughter. The money was to go to Madeleine's Fund, a non-profit company set up to find the girl and bring to justice anyone who played a role in her disappearance. July 2008. Portugal's Attorney General ended the probes into Madeleine's disappearance. Their 14th-month investigation had not uncovered any evidence of a crime by the three people once named as official suspects, the McCanns or Muret. The police turned over its case file, containing up to 30,000 pages, to attorneys and private investigators working for Madeleine's family who vowed to continue. August 2008. The McCanns were left feeling frustrated and hurt. They used their raised funds to initiate an independent investigation. They hired Kevin Halligen, a British citizen, renowned for his role in negotiating a deal for Trafigura, a multi-billion-dollar commodities firm. Halligen and his business partner, Tim Craig Harvey, were instrumental in freeing two Trafigura executives from prison in Côte d'Ivoire. His impressive international resume made him an ideal candidate for the job. He had worked for the SAS in the Balkans and Iraq and supported undercover operations in Northern Ireland. Furthermore, his lavish Washington, D.C. wedding, attended by military and intelligence community personnel, attested to his insider status. Halligen assured the McCanns that he would spare no effort or expense in finding their daughter and requested $600,000 to initiate Operation Omega. Who was the mysterious man spotted by eyewitnesses? Halligen and his team were enlisted for a 6-month contract to locate the missing girl. They started from scratch, reinventing every person who had previously been questioned to piece together a complete picture of the events leading up to her disappearance. The team's most promising lead involved a phony charity collector, the McCann's friend, Jane Tanner, who had been on vacation with them in Portugal and had previously spotted a suspicious man carrying a child before Madeleine's disappearance, described him as being 6 feet tall, with gapped teeth and a mustache, and wearing a brown jacket. Tracing the path of the investigation led to the local Roma or Gypsy community. It was rumored that they had a limited gene pool, and over the last 10 to 15 years, there had been reports of abducted blonde children taken for breeding purposes. The team narrowed their search to a man named George due to his striking resemblance to one of the police sketches. He was spotted at multiple local markets where a team on the ground in Portugal identified him. After photographing George, the team presented the evidence to Jane Tanner, who burst into tears and claimed it was the same man she had seen taking the child. George became the team's #1 suspect. They attempted to pursue him, but his awareness of what was going on around him was impressive. He forced the following team down a dead end. Why did he do that? What did this imply? Was this promising lead overlooked due to a scandal? Days later, the investigators went to pick up the Sunday papers and found Halligen all over the front page. This was the first sign that there was a serious problem within their investigation. Operation Omega was taken aback upon discovering Halligen's fraudulent charges. Upon arriving at the office the next day, they were met with locked doors. Halligen's, who had promised to pay rent, had not fulfilled that promise. To make matters worse, Halligen had taken the remaining funds and vanished to Rome. After conducting some thorough research, Craig Harvey, his business partner, discovered something shocking. The man they thought was Halligen was not who he claimed to be. In fact, no one really knew the true identity of Halligen. There was no evidence to support his cloak and dagger stories. Although he did visit Baghdad for 4 days, it was merely a photo shoot, and his extravagant wedding in D.C. was a complete sham. It was later revealed that the ceremony was conducted by a local actor, and Halligen's true motives remained unclear. Halligen's fraudulent actions related to the Trafigura case eventually caught up to him in Rome, resulting in a short prison sentence. His insatiable hunger for business led him down a dark path, as evidenced by the devastating collapse of Operation Omega. Unfortunately, most of the funds given to Halligen were never recovered and remain unaccounted for. Following his release, Halligen retreated from society and became a hermit. He seemed to have convinced himself of his multiple personalities, and by 2018, he was dead from a brain hemorrhage caused by alcohol. What made Halligen suddenly drop the case and vanish? Was he really a fraud? Did he uncover something he shouldn't have? Operation Omega made significant strides, But the controversy surrounding Halligen's conduct cast a shadow over any achievements made by the team. May 2009, the McCanns appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show and unveiled a digitally enhanced image showing what their daughter might look like at the age of 6. 2011, the McCanns published their own account of their daughter's disappearance titled simply, Madeleine. They hoped it would prompt others to come forward with information and that any profits were to be directed toward furthering the investigation. Meanwhile, London's Metropolitan Police formed an investigative review aimed at going through the details of the case. It would be known as Operation Grange. 2012. As a result of evidence uncovered after a year-long review, the force released a fresh computer-generated image of the girl showing what Madeleine might look like at the age of 9. They believed there was a possibility that Madeleine was still alive. October 2013. British police issued new sketches of potential suspects in the case. That same month, Portuguese police said they would reopen the case. Police in the UK and Portugal would work together on their investigations in parallel to pursue new leads. January 2014. Portuguese authorities received a letter from British prosecutors asking to interview people there in connection with the 2007 disappearance. UK detectives flew out shortly after, but no arrests were made. March 2014. Officers looked for a man who assaulted 5 other young British girls on vacation in Portugal while investigating 12 potentially linked crimes at resorts where Madeleine vanished. September 2015. Though there had been little progress, Operation Grange was revealed to have cost more than £10 million. June 2020. A major breakthrough emerged when British and German authorities announced that they were investigating a 43-year-old German man. Christian Bruckner had lived in Portugal's Algarve region between 1995 and 2007 and had lived in the house in Praia da Luz. He was a convicted rapist and child sex abuser, currently serving a jail sentence for the rape of a 72-year-old woman in Portugal. German prosecutors said they had findings that showed the new suspect had murdered McCann. Apparently, he had accidentally confessed to kidnapping Madeleine years ago while talking over drinks. However, authorities could present no proof of the same, and he was not charged with the crime. July 2020. Portuguese authorities conducted searches of 3 wells related to the investigation, but no new information was discovered. April 2023. Julia Faustina, a 21-year-old model and aspiring singer, claimed on Instagram that she was Madeleine McCann. She said she couldn't recall a significant portion of her early years, was unsure about her age, and had never seen her birth certificate. She posted pictures of herself and Madeleine on social media, pointing out physical similarities between the two of them, including a characteristic brown spot in each girl's right iris. She even said she had never seen pictures of her mother being pregnant. She submitted samples for 3 forensic examinations to outline her DNA sequence and for a genetic test to establish her ancestry. Private investigator Fia Johansson revealed the DNA test result and confirmed that Faustina is 100% Polish with a small percentage of Lithuanian and Russian ancestry. May 2023. Based on a recent tip, German authorities began a new search in Portugal on the Arade Reservoir near the Portuguese city of Silves, about 50 kilometers from Praia da Luz. Authorities said excavations had been conducted which uncovered material that would be sent for analysis, without providing details on what has been found. The waters were previously checked in 2008, but turned up little of value. The search was ordered after pictures of the reservoir were found on Bruckner's computer, who apparently spent a lot of time at the body of water while residing in the country, referring to it as paradise. Craig Harvey, of Operation Omega, still believes the team was close to finding an answer. Many say the gypsy character, George, was the most credible line of inquiry. Some think Madeleine was abducted for pedophilia, some say it was a chance abduction. Some still think that, because of her very clearly identifiable looks, Once the alarm had been raised, she was potentially going to be too easy to find, so she was killed and her body dumped, probably in a sewer somewhere in Praia da Luz. Despite losing their daughter, being accused of her abduction, and being defrauded, the McCanns continue their undaunted pursuit to find Madeleine. With the advancement of technology and surveillance methods, there is still hope that Jerry and Kate McCann will eventually attain closure in the heartbreaking case of their daughter.